Hello, and welcome back to the Warm Podcast. I'm Fabian, and we're back with another episode where we're going to take a look at some of the people who are making moves and doing big things in the music industry. Today, we're going to be focusing on the Danish EDM artist Snavs, whose career is really taking off internationally at the moment. Snavs, whose real name is Andreas Holdø, started out as a bedroom producer, but in the past few years, things have really been heating up and he's been blowing up on the world stage. He's released music on some of the world's leading electronic music labels like Mad Decent, Fool's Gold, and Spinnin' Records, had his tracks remixed by superstars like Tiesto, and played huge festivals all around the world. He also has his own record label, where he recently released his own debut full-length album and also showcases other musical talent. I visited Snavs and his manager/booking agent Søren Mensberg in their studio, and we discussed some of the strategies they've used to get Snavs to the level where he's currently at, how they've grown his artist brand, and how breaking an EDM artist is different than artists in other genres. Our conversation starts with me asking how they first met and started working together. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy. What were you working with before that? What kinds of
rock bands, indie bands,
Okay.
pop acts,
Okay,
rappers,
okay,
but non-electronic acts.
okay. Almost everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess maybe I was at that time a bit tired of a band and a backline and hiring a tour van and all that shit.
Yeah.
Musicians, all that shit.
Yeah. Easier with
So
a
a DJ setup, a DJ artist was pretty interesting.
Yeah. But then you also became his manager, or what happened there? Or
I think it was pretty, can you say, organic?
Yeah.
Just starting, Snavs just developed more international shows and more followers on SoundCloud and Facebook and all the platforms, and suddenly all the different labels in around the world were interested in signing tracks. So and we were just basically talking together every day, and it was natural.
It was really natural. Like he started doing a lot, like almost for maybe 6 months. He actually did management stuff for me, and then we just in the end was like, okay, let's put it on the contract. So like he already did it.
Yeah.
He was, and then it was natural.
Okay.
But it was pretty fluent, because there's a lot of these electronic labels in Canada or US or in the Netherlands. They throw shows themselves. They throw label shows. So it's pretty combined, all that stuff. So you put on a track on Monster Cat, a Canadian label, and we get some shows on their label nights, etc. So it made sense to combine being agent and manager.
Definitely. And did you have did you set any specific goals for Snavs' career, or did you have anything when you started out? Did you have anything you wanted to do?
We don't set specific goals, like we want to do this or do that, because then in the end, when you do that, what's next? And also and since I'm not trying to make hits, pop hits, getting top 50 Spotify stuff, it was just the goal was just to keep evolving, make everything bigger, make the universe around Snavs bigger and bigger. But it was not play that festival. No. It was it all came, but it was not goals we have written down, and just to keep evolving.
Okay, cool.
But we are dreamers, of course. But we have a Danish mentality, so like he says, we're always focusing on the next step.
Yeah.
And what can we get out of that release or that show, and how can we improve and etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing is the world is a bigger playground.
Yeah.
Kind of it's, and since I'm most of the music doesn't have vocals, like everyone understands music.
Yeah.
So that's a bigger like playground to use, and it was the thing we wanted from the beginning.
Yeah, and then you traveling alone, or if I'm traveling with you, it's 2 flight tickets. So we could go everywhere.
Yeah. Instead of having like a full
full band. Then you have this. In the beginning, of course, it's shitty offers. So you have 500 euros to go to Russia. If you're only one person going there, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do the show and you can evolve.
Yeah, we did a lot of shows that like just break even.
Yeah.
Just because we wanted to expand in those different markets.
Yeah. But Søren, did you have experience with like trying to break other artists internationally before working with Snavs?
Yeah, a bit. I had this singer-songwriter. He was signed in Germany and was touring a lot in Germany. I had an art rock band where the strategy was playing shows in UK before playing shows in Denmark to get this international feeling about it. But it was Andreas is the one that I've been involved in that has the most international success.
Yeah, okay.
I would say that.
Interesting. So you're kind of learning
Yeah.
by doing.
Yeah, for sure. There's I didn't knew, as I said earlier, I didn't knew that much about the genre. So we have learned together.
Yeah.
We've just been a team from the start. Andreas could tell me something about the genre and why this track needs to be on that label, and I had some references for dealing with a German label or making a deal with a London venue or whatever. So we had different experience and different knowledge, and we just combined that and
learn from each other.
Yeah.
Cool.
So not me knowing everything about the industry and he knowing everything about music, but just
good mix.
Good mix.
Yeah. But if we can talk a little bit about the process of like breaking your career like internationally. Did you have like a strategy, or did you like focus on certain countries or territories like
100%. I think one of the strategies was definitely to like release tracks on different labels.
Okay.
Labels that had a big following in this market, and labels that had big following in this market.
Okay.
So we did like in the beginning, like each track was different labels to kind of collect the audience.
Okay.
To get bigger in these markets, because it's so easy to put music online now. So the hard thing is not to. It's also hard to make the music and make good music, but you can make really good music and never get listened to because it's so hard to get recognized. And so by doing that in different areas and different labels was a good way to make sure that people were listening to my music in all the different places and around the world.
Yeah. For example, Matt Decent, Diplo's imprint, releasing a track there was getting the support from Diplo and tapping into all the Matt Decent fans. Monster Cat, Canadian label, have a lot of, I don't know what kind of fans it is, but they have a lot of fans. So then every time you put on a track now, there's Monster Cat fans, as label fans.
Yeah.
Writing, when are you putting on a new song on Monster Cat, etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
and there's a bunch of those labels in this electronic world.
So people are very much like following certain.
Yeah. If it's A-Track's label, or if it, what was that,
Fool's Gold.
Yeah.
Baron Family, Yellow Claws label.
Oh yeah.
Dutch label. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, he put on an EP on Baron Family, and that created a lot of live support.
Yeah.
And because at that time when you put on the EP on Barong Family, the Dutch label, there was a lot of focus on Yellow Claw, which is the artist who runs the label.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of focus on the label, Barong Family. So that just when you play a show in Cologne, in West Germany, there's a lot of Dutch fans coming over, and there's a lot of Barong Family fans coming to the show because you put on an EP on their label.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So at some point you can play a show, and let's say during Amsterdam Dance Event, he can play a show, and you can look at the crowd, and there's some Monster Cat fans who love Snavs, there's some Matt Deason fans who love Snavs, there's some Trap Nation fans who love Snavs, there's some Barong Family, and they're so you're just collecting.
Yeah. That's
fans.
That's interesting. I think there's a lot of other genres where the fans don't really care that much about which label the music is coming out on. So that's interesting that's such a big thing.
Especially because the labels have such a big following. So when you release a track, you know that a lot of people will listen to it. You can't make them like it, but you can make them listen.
Yeah.
And for me, I think that the music I put out there was good. So it was a good way to make those people listen to the music.
Yeah.
On all the different labels.
Yeah, and it's pretty common to kind of release projects on different labels.
Tracks. Yeah, maybe I did it a bit more than but it was our strategy and it worked.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's a way to do it, and the other way is to be a Barong Family artist, but sometimes that's it can be hard to break out of that if you have released all your music at only one label.
Yeah, some of the people who only release on one label it's like this is not Snavs, but this is a Barong Family man. You know what I mean? So to only release on the labels that when the followers are that huge, it can be difficult to move from that and
becoming a household name instead of becoming an artist.
Doing your own thing.
Is that also because they have like their own sound sometimes, or?
Barong kind of have, yeah. It's like these jungle tribal vibes kind of thing. I would say that Matt Decent kind of have a sound. It has to be a bit more like unique and like weird.
Yeah.
And then Monster Cat, it used to be more cheesy, but now Monster Cat is almost everything, I would say.
So it's not like because you have to be afraid to like if you're only on this label, then you have to like make one kind of sound.
No, not really, but
okay.
I think the labels have their preferences of what kind of music they want to release.
Of course. Is that like were there any other like strategies you did? I'm thinking it must be like especially now with streaming being so huge. How do you like get noticed or get traction when there's so much music out there?
There's no doubt, unfortunately, that numbers are really important these days.
Yeah.
But a lot of these labels have massive YouTube channels or massive Spotify playlists with a lot of followers.
Yeah.
That gains a lot of plays on your tracks. But I think we have tried not to focus that much on the numbers, but just trying to focus on the music and put out music that fits into Snavs' identity, image.
Yeah, we never really focus on Spotify. We don't go in and like write to like kind of writing all the people who put it on the playlist like, oh, thank you so much and all this like kind of stuff you have to do.
Yeah.
We actually never focused on Spotify that much.
There's no SoundCloud then, or
it's more about putting the music out. I mean, I can find people on Spotify where one has like 10 times more plays than the other one, but the one with the less plays is still a way bigger name, because in the electronic music, when you're not trying to make hits, it's not just about numbers on Spotify. I mean, if you're trying to be a hit artist, yeah, you have to have numbers, but we don't really focus on that. It's not that important, but I would say, even though we don't focus on it, we got pretty good numbers on Spotify.
Yeah, but yeah.
So it's more about the quality of the music.
Yeah, and
for the fans.
And the fans.
Yeah.
We for example, it pisses off Spotify if you put on the track on SoundCloud 2 days before, or YouTube or whatever, 2 days before New Music Friday, or but if that's how we communicate the best way to the fans, I mean, it's the fans who's the most important for us, and I think we've just done a lot of moves and releases and strategies to communicate directly to the fans. Free downloads, a download to follow, or all these tricks, if you say, to get in direct communication with the fans.
Yeah. Have you done other things?
We prefer the fan support than Spotify support.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah. But have you mostly like focused on streaming and downloads, or have you also like focused on stuff like radio, other stuff besides streaming?
Radio is something we're starting to focusing on.
Yeah.
Now.
But not that much.
Now we have a strong radio campaign backing up this album.
Yeah.
That's about to be released next week.
Yeah. Is that like for the first time you've started to do a radio campaign?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's mainly on US, because there's a lot of genre specific radio stations.
Yeah, I think it's important to say here that it was not like I sat down in the studio and was like, okay, now I'm gonna make this track because we needed to get it in the radio in the States. It was just I made the track, and then we were like, okay, this could work in the radio. So it was never the plan to get a song in the radio, but when it happens, and it's I even like had some of my harder stuff being played in BBC One and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not something we really put our strategy in.
No.
Only with one of the tracks here from the album.
Yeah, but radio is interesting in the way of doing a radio mix for, I don't know, weekend radio show or whatever. But it's never been the plan to have a radio hit. No.
Yeah. But there are also all kinds of radio stations also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
not
and
stations.
Obviously, we're interested in being played in the right shows, and BBC One when they have this is Diplo and Friends or Annie Mac, whatever, and
Annie Nightingale.
Nightingale, yeah, all these shows, or Sirius, or iHeart, etc. All these are of course interesting, and we're aiming for that, of course.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk a little bit about like data. Like, is that something you like look a lot at and like use like to strategize? Numbers. That's what it is. Is that something you've used a lot?
Yeah, wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, we did.
Both on Facebook or SoundCloud or Spotify or YouTube and all. I mean, for example, when we were, you just been on an Australian tour.
Yeah.
All these posters have we been targeting Australia, and we have all the songs or posters about the new album have all been Australia have been added to the target lists, of course, because it was current to be in Australia.
Yeah, we also look on data for Spotify plays, Instagram followers, Facebook followers, Twitter followers to see like where I have the biggest following and like where we should. Right now we are touring kind of everywhere, but it's also good to see like okay, I haven't played in that city, but a lot of people listen there, so we look at the data and tell like our Australia agent like this city listen a lot to my music and our Asian agent, and it's a good way to see where people listen to the music, so we can come and play a show for them.
Yeah, and with Warm, of course, also to see
radio data.
Yeah, there's this radio station in Manchester just keeping
Galio.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
I've heard of that one.
And I also saw
just
that.
keep playing Won't Let Us, really hard track, and but it's interesting too.
Yeah, there was also this radio in Dubai, Virgin Radio, I think it was.
Yeah.
I saw on the wall, which was playing.
Yeah, and was it in Tucson you played a sold out show?
Yeah.
On a US tour?
Yeah.
I've never heard about the city Tucson, but
it's in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a small town, and you played a 300 cap venue and was sold out, and
because they were playing it on the radio, or
and I could look at there's been some radio plays there, and I mean how would we know that? So that's all that data is really interesting. I also remember when we were in I were with him on a tour in Australia first, and then we moved up to Asia.
Yeah, Indonesia and Thailand.
Yeah, and we played a show in Jakarta, a really big show. And we had some photographers on it and creating a lot of content, and we stayed in Jakarta for 5 days, and you were posting a lot those 5 days, and it's just moved up.
Yeah.
Or doubled or something on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And suddenly there was 20,000 followers in Jakarta following his Facebook page. What the fuck?
Wow.
So it's really interesting to see that if you're focusing on a specific city or a territory, it pays off.
Yeah.
I can when I post a picture from Jakarta or something, it gets like the double amount of likes on Instagram.
Yeah. And that's good to know. That's good data to have.
Yeah.
To bring you back to play another show in Jakarta.
For sure. Sure. Yeah, and we've talked a little bit about it before, but like would you call it EDM or bass music? What do you call it?
I mean, EDM will be the more like bigger term.
Yeah, like the.
So it is EDM, but it's definitely more bass music.
Yeah, okay.
It's like the heavier EDM, not like the Ibiza EDM.
No. But I mean, if we've talked a little bit about it before, but it's kind of a little bit different than other parts of the music industry, maybe with regards to having success. It's not necessarily about the hits, the big hits, but more like having like a stable following, like a lot of quality output over the long term. Is that? Would you say that's pretty correct?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. And
the universe, the branding, everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not when you go to a show with a DJ artist, it's different from going to a show with a rock band or a pop singer. And it's a party, and it's not only one. You're not standing there waiting for one song.
No.
You're standing there and raving, and because you like the image, you like the artist.
Yeah.
I mean, we walked around at EDC, Las Vegas, a big electronic festival, maybe one of the biggest.
It is the biggest.
This year, and we walked from stage to stage the day after you played.
Yeah.
And we can just see, oh shit, that's Nightman's Lander playing your new track, standing there on the main stage. So, and that's really cool. And so what I'm trying to say is that the crowd is not there to only hear Nightman's Lander songs. They are there to hear their set, and they are playing your song because they like that and they vouch for it.
Yeah.
And it's an atmosphere. It's a vibe.
So the vibe in the set is the flow in the set. It's like it's also more like about personalizing your set. Like when you're not playing your own tracks, you maybe do like an edit of a track and mix two tracks together, and it's about the whole vibe, and like you can't play hard from start to the beginning. You have to have dynamic, and it takes a long time to learn how to do a proper set. So I would love to see one of my favorite artists like DJ Snake or something go and watch one of his sets and see, like, not to hear his song only, but like how do we play this, and what is his set, what does he like. It's also like about a personal taste.
Yeah.
From the artist you look up to.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of in the EDM genre and the bass music genre. There's a lot of support from artist to artist. Doing a radio mix or radio show, putting on some others songs, or remixing or collabing or all that stuff.
But you did some remixes of some pretty big artists, didn't you?
I did remix for Chesto and Martin Garrix.
And was that like an official thing, or was that just something you did? Or?
Yeah, so Martin, when I started producing, I did like unofficial, like illegal remixes of Martin Garrix, but then he discovered me and we started talking, and he asked me to do a remix of his biggest hit, In the Name of Love at that moment, and he also invited me to play a show with him at Ibiza. So all of these remixes is not like it's not like some manager writes to my manager, and like it's normally pretty like
the artist contacts you directly.
Yeah, they do contact because they don't always have a mail from me, but it is more like a relationship more than just work. So with Chesto started with him like reaching out that he wanted to remix my song. So he did a remix of my song, and then we met up with his team at a festival. Tomorrowland. And then they were like, oh, he just got this new big track called Boom, and would you like to remix it and return the favor? And
of course.
It's
Chesto.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting that the artists are talking so much direct to each other.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's that's going on in other genres. No. Of course, rock bands say hi to each other, etc. But you're sharing unreleased songs constantly with Snake or whoever, and just is it on Twitter or Instagram? Just direct. That's nice. It's cool.
Also the thing that it might be normal for Metallica to talk to another big band, but Chesto compared to me, he's like a whole nother level, you know, like, but he's still like texting me sometime. Like he texted me, now he has this big hit with Post Malone. He texted me like 3 weeks before, like, how's it going? I got this track with Post Malone in 3 weeks. I'm really hyped about that, and like it's pretty. People are pretty chill. It's not like it's you have a relationship. It's not only work and competition.
But you can also imagine that I keep comparing it to rock bands, but a rock band go on tour, they play the same set list over and over again.
Yeah.
You haven't played the same set list for twice.
No.
And you play, and you play maybe 70, 80 shows a year.
Yeah.
You need to find new music. You need to make new edits. You constantly need to discover new music. And imagine Chester, he's playing maybe 200, 250 shows a year.
Yeah.
Of course he needs to discover new music.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there's a lot of curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. You're signed to Spinning Records now, or I mean, is that like an exclusive thing, or is that like what you're dropping this project on?
On Rival Records. This album is on Rival Records.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Also, so it's like a label deal type of thing, or
we signed. Andreas signed with Spinning Records. What, one and a half year ago, 2 years ago, and that was an exclusive deal. But they are more into releasing singles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did that, and he wanted to do a full length album, and to do something different and create something maybe more artistic.
Yeah, more artistic, more for big work, where you can experiment more than just putting out singles that we hope will have good numbers on Spotify.
So it just made sense to release that on our own label, instead of releasing it on Spinning Records, because that's not what they stand for, if you could say that.
Yeah.
They're more about the single tracks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also figured that like
this album is a bit more experimental.
Yeah.
So, and that's not Spinning Records is not an experimental label, I would say.
No.
Without saying any bad thing about it.
No.
I think after we did the whole thing we talked about earlier, collecting fans, we signed on Spinning to now have like one label to work with, and it is the biggest electronic label there is, and now when we kind of done with that deal, we think now we build up our platform, collected the fans, that now it's time to do it self. Like do it on our own label, and just so we can like control everything, the plans, also so we can build this label. It's not only for me, it's also for other artists. So it's we thought it was that moment now to do it by ourselves.
And again, as we talk about this, about music is the most important thing, but image and the look and the identity, that's really important as well. And that's a bit difficult to have an identity if they're constantly a label logo put on the artwork, Spinning, Monster Cat, So I think we were just at the, or you are at the point in your career when it's time to,
do it yourself.
Yeah.
So do you have like artists signed to Rydeville now, or is that like in the future, or?
We don't sign artists, we sign projects like EPs, singles. So but the good thing is that when we start working with one artist, we almost every time get a second or third track or fourth track, so it is kind of a family, but it's not a closed family. So it's like the thing is we just release good music.
Yeah. And we know
what we think is good, at least.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we know that the strategy we had from the beginning, putting on music out on different label, was really helpful for you as an artist, and we don't want to block that.
No. So people should be free to put out on other labels.
Yeah. We just want to. That's my dream. I think that's your dream as well, to be a part of bringing Denmark on the map of electronic music.
Yeah. So is it mainly Danish artists you put out or want to put out?
No,
not necessarily.
We got artists from everywhere, from Australia, India, everywhere. But we also wanna, like, at home we do a lot to do events and just collect the people here together to have drinks, and because in Denmark I think there have been like more competition than a family vibe about the music industry, especially compared to the Netherlands, where it's all family, everybody works together, help each other. I think we need that more here, and that's also what we want to do in Denmark, but it's not only focused on Denmark at all.
Okay.
Because we know how they're...
I think it's because Denmark is such a small country, so if an artist get played in the radio, there's only one slot, maybe at Roskilde Festival, there's only room for one EDM act or whatever, you know. So if he gets that, I can't get it.
Yeah.
And then in Netherlands or US or Germany, it's such the markets are so much bigger.
Yeah.
So there's more room for everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be nice to change that a bit and and just to support each other. And, I mean, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, they're just far away, far ahead from Denmark.
Yeah.
If you look at electronic music, and we wanna change that.
Yeah,
Be part of changing that.
Yeah.